and welcome to Boring Dad Gaming, where today we're going to be playing some more F1 Manager 2022. So we're still failing the board's confidence, but we're heading to Miami in 11 days, so we're going to see what we can do by then. Got some scouting coming up. Nothing really in terms of parts. I think we're probably waiting on new car parts for a little bit at the moment. Yeah, over about a month. So let's have a look at the calendar then. So where are we? So we're 25th of April here. We're going to May. So we're going to miss, well, we won't have parts for Miami, the Spanish Grand Prix, and probably Monaco. But we should be able to get them back for the following one, which would be Azerbaijan. In fact, there's a bit of a gap there, so that's quite good. Yeah, so by Azerbaijan, a few races' time, I think we should be looking to, push up the field a bit with these new parts that we're getting. Remind ourselves on the staff front. Got a new technical chief now. Couldn't replace the head of aerodynamics. We annoyed everyone. I wonder if they're going to stay annoyed. They might do. So who was it we tried to get? I think it was Balbo, wasn't it? Yeah, he's not interested now. It might take a little while for that to recover. We get Dirk de Beer, but I think we said this last time. He's not a massive improvement on where we are now. Well, it is 7 points, I suppose. Well, let's have a look at it. Well, we can't scout him. I've got my scouts busy. Let's see what we could get him for. Let's start at 3 seasons. They seem to want to be quite well paid, these guys. So let's start at 2.5. Let's say 300k on a bonus, maybe. See what he says. I'm not hopeful. Yeah. It wasn't great. Okay, let's try 4 seasons. We'll push it up to 3. Oops. Alright, 3.3. And we'll say 350 on this bonus. Or 360, there we go. Oh, that's a yes. Okay. It's going to cost most of our money to do this, but I think we're getting someone who's a fair bit better, so that would be good. Let's do it. We've got Dirk de Beer in place now. Let's have a look at him. Yeah, he's pretty good. Pretty good across the board, really. We've got maybe a couple of things we might look to improve. This is... Okay, let's just go to staff. Go in here, because I want to see how long he's going to take to develop. Okay. Probably get a few points a year. Not too bad. In terms of facilities, we've got a fair bit going on here. We've got no money now, so we could probably just let this ride. Let's push on. Low stock of underfloor. Is that because we had to replace one? Yeah, so let's replace... let's build one of these then. 150k. We don't need to rush it. Let's have a look. Is it the same thing? Right, okay. He was telling us there's one in car 1 and one in car 2, but we're getting a spare. Dirk de Beer's in. That's good. Okay, we've got Zane Maloney scouted. 65. Yeah, so braking is a bit of an issue. High potential, low aggression. From Barbados. It's an interesting place for a Formula 1 driver to come from. I mean, nothing amazing there, I wouldn't say. Development report. Hey, yeah, there's top speed. I mean, we saw that on the straights, I think, where we needed to try and keep up with people, and they were just pulling away from us quite quickly. Cornering's looking a bit better than it was. My finances are a bit of a parlour state. I'm probably going to just have to... Oh, where did we just get 4 million from? I've no idea. Maybe because it went... Maybe we get some at the end of the month, perhaps. It's good, though. They're satisfied. Okay, well, satisfied's fine. Satisfied isn't being fired. Oliver Behrman from the UK. He's a fairly good all-rounder. High aggression, high growth potential. So I don't mind that. What I'm wondering is... Do I bite the bullet on Ricciardo? Who we're going to let go at the end of the season anyway. And what we would then do is push Theo into car 1. And then maybe Behrman into reserve driving. It's a pretty young lineup. Norris is doing really well though. I mean, I don't think Theo would be doing any worse than Ricciardo. Can we not just shove him into car 1? Let's see what happens at the race. Maybe we can choose to have him in car 1 at that point. Underfloor's done. New ATR period, so we've refreshed all our design stuff. Miami preview. Got the underfloor. So we're going to be at the race now. So in race prep, let's look at driver overview. Can I change him out? Doesn't look like it, does it? Race preview. Oh, he's got a news development point. I didn't see that. Okay, what should we improve on Theo? Maybe accuracy might be a good one. Just stick on the racing line a little bit better. Yeah. It doesn't look like I can change the cars round. Swap engineers. Okay. I don't know. What I wanted to do is just, swap him into the car, but it doesn't look like I can do that. Doesn't look like I can just cancel his contract either. Well, really? Okay, it would cost more money than we have to okay, well we'll put that on the back burner for now then, shall we? Okay, let's do these performance targets. We're not going to reach Q3. I might take control of qualifying and see if we can get onto that 10th spot. Finish position. Could we finish in... Oh, that's fastest lap. Oh, we're not doing that. Could we qualify in 12th for a couple of races? I would hope so. So, on to Miami.
We're in the state of year-round summer. It's the Miami Grand Prix, and we're here in Florida at the Miami International Autodrome. The streets of Miami Gardens will come alive with the roar of racing, and the excitement is only just beginning. Spectacle is the name of the game here in Miami, with a stadium at the heart of this track. With long straights and S-bends, not unlike Suzuka's Sector 1, proper ERS management is sure to give drivers an edge towards victory. We might still be early in the season, but that doesn't mean we can sit back and relax. Everything is up for grabs, and nothing is certain at this stage. The competition is on.
Okay, so in terms of weather, it looks all right. It looks all dry. Let's send him out.
Radio check.
Let's send Norris out first.
Yeah, I'm ready to check, all good.
Green light.
And between last episode and this, I did discover that you can keep them out beyond their pit window. You've got to be careful about it. They don't run out of fuel. But you can keep them out for an extra lap if you're very close to getting that last bit of feedback. So we'll see how we do. I would like to. I was wondering if it might be familiarity with the race engineer that was sort of holding us back a little bit, because we did change those. But when we come back, we will see how we're getting on here. Okay, so we're just coming into the garage now with Ricciardo, who had his setup a bit earlier than Norris, so I brought him in sooner. A couple of grates, everything else bad, so for braking, we can knock that there. Let's also move that up a little bit. That's bad. Yeah, okay. Let's give that a go, shall we? So with Norris, who's coming into the pit lane now. Well, relatively soon. Let's just speed up a little bit. Oh, I forgot to put Theo in the practice car. Oh well. Alright, let's have a look at Norris's. He was bad as well. He wasn't quite as bad as we've had in the past. As a traction, I think we want to force up that way. Yeah, maybe like that. Cornering, we actually want to take the other way. Maybe like that. That top one, we can bring that in a little for this. I don't like that being there either. I'd like to have got cornering a bit further out. Okay, we'll give that a go. I don't know how close to the pin we are there, but when we come back, we'll find out. Yeah, Ricciardo's getting pretty close to giving us his last feedback, so we'll just come back here to see what that is. Very close to 100% knowledge. Oh, 86%. There we go. That's pretty good.
On tools and what we can look at.
So let's call him in.
Everything's pretty stable. Nice one, guys.
We can reconfigure that now. And there we go. Everything's looking great, apart from the top one. So if we just... yeah, if we just give it that. Maybe these go optimal, maybe they don't. But then we'll have a clear idea of what we're zeroing in on. So let's confirm that. Norris is 94%, I think that said. So let's bring him in too. Oh, Ricciardo can go out. Speed up a little bit. He's got a decent amount to try and get to full knowledge. In this procession, which would be good. Norris coming in now. Let's do this as quick as we can. So 94% is good. I mean, not a lot to change there, is there? I mean, we can guess that we probably need to send that way a little bit. So let's just do that. Very, very minor changes there, and we'll get him out ASAP as well. And when we come back, we'll see how we did. Okay, well the session ended. We only got to 3 out of 5 on both cars, but even so, we'll be able to have a little bit of a tinker before second practice session, and maybe adjust where needed. So we're just going to wait now for all the cars to finish. I guess we continue, do we? So we'll have a little tinker in the garage before they go out.
Okay, radio check.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll let him go out again. But we'll do a run that's only, say, 5 laps. That with Norris. Still looking good. I think we'll do the same. Do a short run just to try and finish off the knowledge on the car. Send them both out. And when we come back, we'll see how we did. Ricardo's saying it's great. I can't see a score on it, unless I've missed it. 89% there, so let's call him in. And then we'll stick with Norris. Oh, Ricardo's in the garage. Okay, let's do this first. So everything's kind of set to the best we've done so far. There's traction. I think we do that. So hopefully get that in a better place. These grates, maybe they go to optimals. I think that should be fairly good. I'll probably put them on a fresh set of tyres. And let's just keep them out for 16 laps. Now Norris. Yeah, their gearbox and stuff is starting to be a bit worn, so I'll have to remember to replace those before the next race. 96 there. Pretty good. Let's call him in. Oh, he's already coming in. So Norris coming in now. There's probably not an awful lot to adjust here. We've got a couple of grates. I mean, I'm tempted just to leave it and simulate P3 and just see if the AI can add a percentage point or something to that. Let's just leave him. We'll concentrate on getting Ricardo's a bit higher then for the remainder of this session. And when we come back, we'll see how we... Okay, should be hearing from Danny quite soon as to how happy he is with everything. 100% confidence.
Do you need any help with the balance
Wow.
at this stage?
Okay. I mean, there's nothing really left to do. I'm probably just going to fast forward the rest of the session, and then I'll probably manage P3. Just so I don't send the cars out and use up the powertrain quality. So, yeah, when we come back, I should be taking charge of the qualifying rounds. Okay, well, here we are going into Quali 1. We're going to send Ricardo out first this time.
Yep, radio is good, drink's good.
I'm going to send Norris out a little bit behind. We'll speed it up a little bit until we get to the flying lap. We're going to take assume direct control. Same for Norris. So when they get to about here, I'll probably whack everything up to the maximum for the start of the flying lap. The ORS, I don't know if it's better to go into deploy mode or overtake mode. Deploy mode on paper, well, you know, going by this anyway, is faster, so I'll go with that. So we're going to go back to normal speed now. Ricardo's coming up to that bend, so let's whack everything up to max.
You've got the margin to push.
And same for Norris now as well.
We can push a bit more.
Yeah, confirm.
Traffic on the lap. We've got that. Is it an Aston Martin ahead of us? I hope it's not going to hold us up too much. I've heard that the traffic in qualifying is a bit of an issue in the game. Actually, yeah, it's right there. Hopefully we can just shoot past him. So we're going a lot faster. Yeah. That's good. We've got a Williams, I think, next. So we're just going to shoot by that as well. If we click on this, we can actually see his sort of section times. And I've got no real frame of reference for. Oh, well, that purple's to be expected just because he's the first car to do that. It's actually gone green, so does that mean that Norris has... yeah, Norris is the best time so far. So Ricardo coming up for the last couple of turns. There's a Mercedes ahead of us. I don't know if we'll need to overtake that. Don't think so. So I think we could be quite happy with this. And Norris is probably going to go to the top. Yeah, very close though, the two of them. Let's knock everything back down for the
Just look after this
last lap.
Look after it.
Okay.
The in lap. And we'll see how that rate holds up. Remember, this is Q1, so we've only got to finish in the top 15. So as long as we're faster than the Williamses and the Aston Martins and one of the others, we'll be fine. So I'm tempted to only put out one run for this session and see how that goes. So we're just on the inlet now. Let's just speed things up and we'll see what the other times look like as they come in. Tsunoda being ahead of us is a bit of a concern. Oh, Ricardo's heading, considering there's Perez and Alonso still to go. Okay, let's pause. That's a really bad run, isn't it? Okay, well let's get you back out there. Norris is doing a bit better. I think Norris should be okay. We should be ahead of, hopefully, Joe, certainly Vettel. Alright, Danny, you've got to get out again. We're in the dropout zone now. So I might go to max settings a little bit sooner. Let's do it now. Why is the Norris out again, you know? How can Norris still be exiting pit lane? Right, okay. Let's assume direct control over Norris. Very disappointing qualifying. Norris. Okay, let's turn you up now. Ricciardo's in 10th after that run. That's a much better run from him. Norris shouldn't get overtaken by the cars that are behind him, but this is just to make sure of that. Magnussen's actually had a penalty applied, so that's definitely going to help. Quite slow from Alonso, I'm surprised at that, so he might come out again and beat that. So that's a worry. Oh, sorry, let's turn Ricciardo's down now. Never mind. Come on, Norris. I'd like to see him above a Ricciardo if possible. Yeah, we're going to stop to refuel on our flying lap. Thanks, Ricciardo. Was it a Ricciardo Ademi? Or Richard? I'm not sure. Right, where's Norris? Norris is 7th. Wow, much better. Much better. Good.
There's low down now.
Confirm.
Let's just speed up a little bit for the rest of the session. It's only a minute and a half, so we'll stick with it. 7th and 11th? Yeah, I'll take that. Other cars are doing their laps at the moment, so we might see Norris drop down again, potentially. Wouldn't be surprised if Alonso puts in a much better lap second time round. Only 30 seconds left in the session. Some of these cars, well, I don't know. I don't know how it works. Whether as long as you've started the lap before the timer ticks down, you're okay. I don't know. I presume the AI knows what it's doing. But we're going to start seeing some revised times come in quite soon.
Okay, that is the end of the session.
Let's just see these come in. So we're okay. Norris dropping down. Alonso did beat him in the end. So where do we finish up? So yeah, 9th and 12th. Well, 9th, if we can repeat that, would be good enough to get into Q3. Yeah, we're not unhappy with that, I don't think. Let's go to Q2. We're on medium tyres now, which is a bit annoying. But we're going to manage this session as well. So we'll send out Norris first this time. Yeah, Ricciardo can come out, probably behind that Ferrari. And again, we're going to assume direct control for both cars. I think we kind of know that 1 minute 30 is a good time. If we can kind of keep below that, then we should be able to make it to the next session. Hopefully one car at least. I'm hoping Norris will be able to make it. Oh wow, we should be turning stuff up now. Right, so here we go, flying lap time. No traffic ahead of us. Well, there's a Williams and I think it's an Alpha. But they're quite far ahead. We may not need to overtake them. I think we're going to catch the Williams though, certainly. Wasn't a problem getting past them before, so hopefully the same applies now. So there's quite some long, fairly straight sections of track coming up. Should be able to see the Williams now. Here he is. Let us through. There he is. He's getting out the way. Actually, that was a Red Bull. I don't know why they don't use as much ERS on the qualifying laps that we've seen. Like, they're not draining the battery. For whatever reason. Not sure. Maybe they were saving it for the straight, possibly? Should be shooting past this Alpha. Fingers crossed for a good time. I think come the last 5 minutes of the session, we'll definitely send them out again for a second run. There we go. What was the time? 1:31. So yeah, so we want to look to improve upon that, really. Both cars. I want to try and get that close to 1:30, I think. So let's speed it up, and we'll wait until about 5 minutes to go, and then we'll send them out again. Yeah, we're not doing too well. Oh, close to bottom. Very disappointing. Oh. Right, quickly, let's reconfigure. Actually going to put those softs on, I think. Daniel 2. Let's not do it in 8 times, though. Let's do it normal time, because these tyres should be quite quick. We'll send out Norris, give it a couple of seconds, and we'll send out Ricardo. Just speed up a little bit for the out lap. But we're going to assume direct control. Both cars. And then probably about here on the straight we'll switch to max mode. See what we can do. The track grip's better now, so that might improve our times a fair bit. Norris. We'll turn you up now. Daniel-san, do the same. Alright, here we go. Oh, let's go normal time. Let's see if you can actually get personal bests in these sectors. We want to see greens there, ideally, as he finishes each sector. Come on, Daniel. And Lando, you can do better. Right, Daniel. He actually did hit personal best on that, so that's good. Is that what it means? Because... well, I guess we'll see. I was just thinking that Norris's section 1 was better.
No DRS, sorry.
Go on, Fran. Section
2 was better as well, so Norris should... yeah. Norris should be posting a better time, I would think.
So caution on the battery.
We're almost done. Yeah. How did we do? Okay. Well, looks like we're crashing out in Q2. Couldn't really improve on those times, disappointingly. Don't get that. Don't really get that information. What?
Land the pit lane. Copy.
Don't really get it. But let's fast forward to the end of the session now. Everyone's finishing. Norris bottom. Oh dear. What happened, man? So 12th and 15th for us. Bit disappointed in that.
Drivers are strapping themselves
I don't know if
in.
me taking control of the session had any noticeable difference. I don't over simulating it. But anyway, let's look to the race strategy. So we've got what, 57 laps? If we were to do this, doesn't look too bad. Got a long race looking at this. It's alright, we'll stick with that. Then we'll go hard medium on Norris. A new stint. There, I guess we'll do that. See if we can push up the table a little bit, I suppose.
Quite a few clouds overhead as we look at the lineup on the grid. And this is it, the Miami Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go.
I guess we'll start off. I guess we'll start off following Ricardo, as he's a few places higher. Norris just gained a spot already.
McLaren gain a position. Let's
Oh, we could
see
watch
what
him overtake.
happened
It's
there. Watch this.
very early in the
Looking
race. It
at
probably wasn't too
Lando
spectacular.
Norris.
Yeah, that was good.
A bold move indeed, and with that, they've gained a position.
Very good. see who's ahead of us. We've got Joe, Alonso, Bottas. Gasly's started well. If we're going to overtake any people, I would like to maybe overtake Joe. I would imagine that Gasly's going to slide down a little bit if we want to finish in the points again. Is Ricciardo starting to redeem himself, I wonder? But if we could get past Joe. Looks like Norris has a good chance of overtaking Magnussen as well.
We do not require any fuel liftoff.
Okay, understood.
Just switching that up there just in case we've got a chance of overtaking Joe.
DRS is enabled.
I could have a little go at deploying that maybe. Oops.
We can push a bit more.
Confirm.
There we go. We get past. Not yet. I don't want to stay in attack mode too much. Let's put it down to aggressive, balanced
Back
on
it
the
out.
fuel.
Back it out.
Understood.
And confirm. Lift off.
Yeah, confirm.
If later in the race we find that we're still looking like we've got excess fuel, we'll push it up a bit. Oh, Norris overtook Magnussen. That's good. If we get a replay chance, we'll have a look at that.
And McLaren with
There we
a
go.
great overtake. Here's the replay. Now just take a look at the McLaren.
Yeah, that's good. Just outpaced him.
And there they go, moving up a position in the pack.
12th and 13th now. We get past.
Overtake is available. Overtake available.
Oh, someone spam wide there. We might get a couple of
Okay.
places here. I think we got past both alphas. It's very good. Just defend for a little bit on the battery there. Actually, we don't need to. He's miles behind. Let's go into neutral
Good
mode
stint
then.
so far.
Yeah,
Let's
we'll watch
take
that
a
from another
closer
camera
look.
angle, I think.
Now look at this.
So I think
Daniel
Bottas
Ricciardo involved
Locked
here.
up. Oh no, they just bumped each other. Joe bumped into Bottas and they both slowed down. That's pretty good.
And that's more places gained.
We're in 10th now. How's Norris doing? Not too, less than half a second behind Joe. Probably move it down to neutral for the time being.
Slow down.
Okay, confirm.
I was thinking of ditching Ricciardo. He's putting in the best race of his McLaren career. Alonso ahead of us now, not too far ahead, I don't think. It says it's nearly a second now. Yeah, we cut that down to half a second. They're all kind of bunched up now. Looks fairly stable at the moment. Norris is pretty close behind those two Alphas. When we get to the straight again, I'll wet both cars up to maximum and see what they can do. So we sort of come into this final turn just before the straight. We'll turn the cars to max. Get Norris going. Looks like we've got Alonso. Yep. Ooh, a couple of places. Very well done, Danny.
Keep at it. We are out of DRS.
Understood.
Norris got a place, I think.
Have a lift off.
Ooh, let's actually watch the
Take a look
replay of that
now.
from a different angle.
Daniel Ricciardo involved here.
There we go, neck and neck with Alonso. We get past, not sure who that is. Russell. Oh, okay.
Slow down
Close
now.
to Ocon now.
Yeah, confirm.
Norris got... Did he get around anyone? Or was he in 13th anyway? Kind of forgotten. But Ricciardo's doing well. So what we'll probably do at this point is speed up a little bit. Oh, Russell's gaining a little bit, but then we're gaining on the cars in front of us, so it's all very tight. How's the tyres looking? Not too bad. We'll actually use our... No, DRS has run out already. So I might use what DRS I've got to defend against Russell. I'm a little bit fairly comfortable for fuel, but I understand that the earlier in the race it is, the less accurate these readings are, and it's only really for like the last 10 laps or so that it's an accurate reading. So I don't want to overextend on the fuel and have to conserve it later. We'll get later on in the race and then see how much we've got to push with. Because we're doing pretty well at the moment.
Caution on the
Battery's empty, let's get that to neutral.
Okay.
Lots of sparks coming off. Not sure if it's us.
You're doing what?
Let's speed up a little bit. Try to
McLaren
defend
gain a
again.
position.
Oh, Norris is
Let's have
overtaking
a
someone.
look.
Joe.
Watch this. We're looking at Lando Norris.
Oh yeah, no, he did it again. He bumped into his teammate. And just let us in this time, as opposed to letting us in
And there
past
they
Bottas
go,
as well.
moving up a position. Just incredible manoeuvring.
God, Joe's not going to be popular with Bottas after that, I'd imagine. Maybe afford to be a bit more aggressive on the tyres. It's our lap. Window 14 laps. Okay. Not what I wanted. The ERS is dead.
We're doing a mega job.
Norris got past Bottas, so we'll have a look at that.
Great overtake. Let's see what happened there.
It's that same corner. Didn't have Joe running into him this time. I had a lot of success on overtakes in that corner. Very good. Does that put Norris in the points now? No. Oh, Bottas got back past him, that's why. That's his only comment. Tell you what, let's push a little bit. I think we can afford to on that.
Head down.
Yeah, all good.
We've still got Russell behind, so let's defend as long as we can. Norris got past Bottas again. Let's actually put that on defend then.
Here's the
So
replay.
it wasn't that same
Watch
corner,
this.
was it?
We're looking at Lando Norris.
Very smoothly done.
Gaining a position there.
Okay, I think we can turn Norris down a little bit. We were gaining on Gasly, he's just zoomed off though. I mean, to be honest though, I'd be very happy with a 8th place finish. Nothing wrong there. The board may even be not horribly disappointed in me if that happened. Just trying to keep Norris and Ricciardo ahead of Russell and Joe. Sorry, Bottas. They're kind of holding each other up, so let us back in. There's a bit of a queue, isn't there?
And DRS is disabled. DRS disabled.
Okay, yeah, confirm. Okay. Alrighty.
It's a race position gained for Mercedes.
And Ricciardo losing a bit there. What do we do about that? Probably not a lot. Let me try and deploy this a little bit. Okay, well. Never mind. I mean, he is in a faster car, so to be expected in a way. What tyres everyone's on? Hards or mediums?
Yep.
Well, Norris has got the fastest lap somehow. Not quite sure how that's happened. Well done though. Tyres looking bang on. I think we're okay there. Alonso catching up to us though. Okay, I think we're going to speed it up a little bit at this point. It's a shame the sound drops out when you do that, though. It doesn't drop out, it just goes much lower. Called up to Russell a bit. I feel like this is just going to be the story, though, of our next few races until we get those, good parts put in the car, and then maybe, speed us up a little bit. I mean, when you compare it in the stats, I mean, we're actually sort of the 15th best car on the grid in most areas. So to have a car in 9th and one in 11th, I mean, that's an achievement in itself, I think. But I'm sure the board will not agree. Luckily, I've got their fancy new boardroom keeping them happy for a little while. So, 9 laps. Well, we might have a bit of chance up against Ocon than Russell. Potentially. I'm kind of keeping pace with these Alpines at the moment. It's quite interesting to see how the bottom of the table shapes up there. You've got the Williamses, then you've got the Aston Martins, then the Haas. Gasly's doing pretty well in his AlphaTauri though. Then you've got the Alfa Romeos. Then that's an Alpine. And Gasly, who's a bit of an anomaly. I don't know whether he must be, just a very good driver in a decent car, I think. But he might be overtaken by Russell here. Oh, we're not a million miles off them. Let me try and push a bit.
A position gained for Alfa Romeo.
Damn it. Damn it, Chip. Lando. You call him George then. What happened? Did we lock up or something? We've suddenly lost a lot of ground.
Alpine just advanced.
I think we must have. Something happened there. In Ricciardo's car, and then just we've lost seconds on the group ahead of us. We've got Norris behind us now, so we're 10th and 11th. That seems to be fairly standard. I mean, Norris is trying to overtake us now. Go Lando. Alright, he's done it. What I was going to say is that it's a shame because we're sort of competing with the AlphaTauris in the Constructors. I think we're level on 5 points currently. So if Gasly does finish, you know, several places above us, that's not good. Oh, Ricciardo's coming back. I could issue instructions, I suppose, but I think whichever one of them is going to finish higher in the race, I kind of want to encourage, really. Norris is coming back now. I might instruct Daniel not to fight his teammate. Let's switch over to Norris. Well, I would quite like to see Ocon and Alonso overtake Gasly. And then we'd have a shot at getting at him. In terms of the pit window, 4 laps. Ours is 13 laps. I say ours, I feel like I'm Lando Norris, not Ricciardo. I don't know why. I probably shouldn't. I mean, they're equal status, aren't they? I would quite like to encourage Norris into a higher position in the standings, though. Oh, here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Past Alonso.
McLaren gain a position.
Quite far behind Ocon. If Ocon can get past Gasly, I wouldn't mind having a run at Gasly just to try and get above the AlphaTauri in the table. Ocon is right behind Gasly now. Is there a quick overtake? There was. He's got round Gasly. Okay, now it's us up against Gasly. So let's see what we can do about that. It's quite a big gap. What tyres is he on? He's on medium, so he'll be pitting first. Anything can happen then. Oh, we've halved the gap to him, though, already. Let's go overtake on the straight. Yeah, not quite. A pit window for Ricciardo. We'll just give it a lap. If he was to pit now, it would affect the end of the race, I think. We could take him down to standard, perhaps just make those last a couple more laps.
Just look after this tyre set though, look after it.
Okay, understood.
Still got that gap to Gasly. We're right behind him now. Coming into the straight. Okay, let's attack a little bit. No battery, but
DRS is
set it to
disable,
so overtake anyway.
Disable.
Come
Yeah,
on,
come
come on. Hopefully we can come up inside him on the, so to speak, on this corner. I think we have. I think we have. No, he's just got it again.
And slow down now.
Yeah, let's go. What's going on Danny's pit window? I think we'll come in on this lap, and then we'll switch to the hards.
Box and pit confirm. Box, pit confirm.
Yep, I'll pit this lap.
Gasly might pit in a lap or two.
Charge button on.
Confirm.
Come on, Norris. I feel like we're faster than him on the straight. Come on. Let's take him on this corner. No. How is he even further ahead now? Danny's dropped down a little bit. Mixing it with the Williamses. What condition is our powertrain at? Yeah, so we're going to switch out the gearbox after this race. May still use it in practice instead of our new one. Engine's probably got a race or two left in it. How are we doing? Come up to the straight again. Let's give it what we got. This looks promising. Now I'll never get around them on the outside. Blocked a bit by Ocon though, I think, or was it Alonso? Not sure. They're both heading into the pit actually, so that's good. I think we'll keep pushing for now in the hope that when we pit, we'll come out ahead of Gasly. Ricardo's on hard tyres now. I think we can maybe afford to go aggressive on those. Fuel's looking good though.
Bottas is in pit lane.
prep ourselves for a push.
Understood.
I mean, we're not far off. We're within a second of Ocon and Russell. Where'd Gasly end up? Yeah, he's quite a ways behind now. 18, 21, 22, 23 seconds, something like that perhaps. Well, we can't keep pushing, but 6 laps to the... Might have to turn the tyres down a little bit as well. Lando's getting nosebleeds at 6th in the table. Ricciardo just got past Gasly, interestingly.
Okay, well done.
Let's flip to defend a little bit until we make up some distance on him. What can we say? We can instruct him to hold back the cars behind. That'll slow him down. Okay, the tyres should be okay until the window, but we've worn them down a little bit faster than we were expecting to, I think. This is from Gasly's point of view. Got past Ocon, who's pitting.
Caution on the battery.
Okay, understood.
So whenever you're ready then, it would just be recharge off. Recharge off.
Okay, understood.
Ooh, someone's run wide. I wonder who that was. Probably give us a replay in a sec.
Look at that! They've run
Russell!
wide. Let's take a closer look. Now,
Not far
just
behind
watch
Russell.
the Mercedes here. Oh dear, dear, dear. That's far wider than they would have wanted.
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad, was it? What does it mean for us? Maybe we've caught up a little bit? I don't feel like we have particularly. Still no retirements or mechanical problems. Well, I guess that might start to arise as cars start driving on, you know, lower conditioned gearboxes, engines and such like. Because if ours is getting low, then surely the other cars are as well. Ah, Gasly got past Ricciardo. Okay, let's take his orders off then.
Alpha Tower regained a place.
You have one job, Daniel. Got it back. Oh well, I think it's just run dead. But let's put the orders back on.
Okay, understood.
Anything we can do to delay Gasly a little bit, just
You're looking
ensure
good at
that
the
we
moment.
stay ahead of the AlphaTauris. Tsunoda's not so much of a problem, but obviously if we can finish in the points and keep AlphaTauri out of the points, then you know, hope we'll climb a place in the constructors, which would be nice. Tyres start to look a bit concerning. I felt like that would happen. Alright, ignore that. Push to get the place back.
That's a position gained for AlphaTauri.
Oh, he's done it again.
Fantastic work.
As soon as he's got some juice in the battery, I'll get him to defend. Keep pushing Lando a bit. In every respect except his tyres. Oh, Lando,
Let's take a
Lando,
look at the
Lando.
replay.
What did
Now
you do?
just take a look at the McLaren.
You asshole.
And there we see the crash.
Fuck me.
And that was a bitter blow for the team. And it may have really hurt their overall chances.
Let's see. Major damage to the front wing. That might have to be repaired in the pits. Yeah, well, we were going to pit soon anyway, so let's get in there. Let's put the hards on. Hang on. Got to put mediums on. Car parts, front wing. God damn it.
No DRS, no DRS, sorry.
Confirm.
I mean, that's an arse. It's a right arse.
Lando pit lane.
Copy that.
I'll have to see how much that's cost him.
Yep. This is my pace.
AlphaTauri gained a place.
Oh my god.
We can push a bit
Well,
more.
Yeah, confirm.
that's rather annoying. Let's try and get Ricciardo around Gasly then.
We do not require any fuel liftoff.
Okay, understood.
Overtake is available. Overtake available.
Okay,
So focus on just bringing your tyre temperatures back under control for the moment.
That's good, that's good.
understood.
McLaren with a great overtake.
Back it out, back it out.
Okay, understood.
Alright, if we can finish 9th and keep Gasly in 10th, I mean, that's become my aim now. Not a lot of difference in the tyres. So I'd imagine if we're planning on not pitting again, that they're not either. Oh, Norris, why did you have to do that? Why does it only seem to happen to our team? Sure it doesn't. Well, it feels like it does. Alright, let's attack it on the flat, on the straight.
Come on,
Oh,
mate.
Bottas actually overtook Gasly.
Understood.
Interesting. Not unhappy with that. Let's bring things down a bit now, we're at the straight.
Just look after this tyre set though. Look after it.
Understood.
Oh, I feel like turning the speed up again, but I don't think I can. It's too tense. What's Bottas doing? He's right there. He's on hards as well, all around the same condition on the tyres. Gonna have to turn ours down at some point. I don't want to be on aggressive until the end of the race. Our tyres will be bald. Looks like they're harvesting some energy until the straight,
And recharge on.
Okay.
and then just absolutely go for it. No, he's catching up now. Damn
And
it!
recharge off.
Understood.
I mean, as long as we finish ahead of Gasly, and Gasly doesn't finish in the points.
Okay. Alrighty.
Actually, I'm going to go back to standard for a little while. And we'll up the speed at this point. So our distance to Gasly and our distance to Bottas are kind of the main issues here. Norris, I think, is kind of out of that contest. I mean, not necessarily, but that lock-up and extra long pit to replace the front wing has probably killed his race, more or less. I don't know if I've said yet, but in the news it's just come out that Ricciardo is going to be leaving McLaren at the end of this season. I don't think that's a surprise, but he's going to Alpine. He's actually going to be replacing Fernando Alonso there, so him and Ocon are going to be racing for Alpine, which, to be honest, feels like a bit of a step up from where McLaren are this season, I think. I think Norris has been doing well. But certainly it's not a step down anyway. So well done for him. Not sure where Alonso's going. Oh, we're close to Bottas. We can actually push the field a little bit at this point. Maybe we'll do that.
We've had a car run wide.
Vettel ran wide. No one cares. I mean, he's finishing 17th or he's finishing 18th. There's not a lot of differences there. It's a bit mean, I suppose, but... Did someone say that Alonso is replacing Vettel in Aston Martin? Did I hear that? Can't remember. Not sure. I push things a little bit more on the tyres for the straight. I'll go on attack. Made no discernible difference, did it? Norris is just dropping further and further behind Gasly now. He was doing so well. 20 laps to go. Oh, Bottas has actually overtaken Alonso. Can we catch Alonso? It says for a second behind. It doesn't look like a second, though. Oh, Gasly's right behind us now. You're only squeaking in the background. The dog's found his toy. We've got a little Dachshund called Max. He's a very sweet boy. Quite noisy though. You probably hear him barking in a fair few of my videos. If someone walks past the house or hears a dog outside, he tends to set him off. It's a happy little thing though. Well, we're dropping further behind Alonso. Gasly's kind of... I think we corner faster than Gasly. I think that's what's keeping us ahead of him. Is our speed in the corners. I think we worked a bit on our corner stuff in the new parts.
Looks like that was a position gained for Alfa Romeo.
I was going to say I thought we overtook someone, but I think we must just have been lapping Latifi. Go Tifi, as people have called him on social media. I think it's ironic.
McLaren gain a position.
Okay, well Norris has got his spot back, that's good. 2 seconds behind Bottas now. I mean, you never know what's going to happen, I suppose, but I think our battle is going to be finishing above Gasly. That's our key battle. How are his tyres doing? Slightly better than ours. So our last laps, I mean, look at them. 1:35.85, we're 0.7, he's 0.6. So he's caught up like, what's that, 1,000th of a second over the last lap? That's how close it is. But Alonso and Bottas are just streaking away from us now, really. Norris maybe eating a little bit into the lead there. He's made up a second on Gasly. How are his tyres doing? We can maybe afford to go aggressive for a little bit. $15 laps to go. Or is that 16? I think it's 16. Because it includes the one you're in. Well, look at the gap. It's just growing and growing, isn't it, us to Alonso? Norris is catching up to Gasly, though. It's made up another 1.5 seconds on him. Can't do a lot with the fuel at the moment. Oh no! No, 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 no. Goddamn Gasly. My new nemesis. Come on, get past, attack, attack, attack. Come on, it's kind of straight bits now, let's try and get him on those. Come on, push. I think we did it. Flip that to defend.
And McLaren with a great overtake.
Yeah. Good. Okay, well let's just flip these down a little bit again. Oh, he's right, blinking there again. He's going to shoot past me in a sec. We're defending on the ERS. I don't know what else we can do. It's only so hard I can push this car and still cross the finish line. What's going on? Oh, Norris overtook Gasly. Good boy. Let's actually set Norris to hold back cars behind and don't fight teammate. Actually, no, scratch that. Norris might be able to overtake. Yeah, let's see what Norris can do, actually. Oh, if we could finish 9 and 10th, you know, that would be huge. There goes Norris. Okay, we're going to flip to Norris now. We're going to set Daniel to defend and to block the cars behind. You're our blocker now, Daniel. That's your job. "12 laps. Ooh, this is pretty tense. I didn't see this view. It's probably going to be quite scary. Wow, okay. There they are. It'd be nice for Zhou and Gasly to do a bit of dueling. Okay, Ricciardo's doing a pretty good job actually. He's holding those up. I'm a bit worried about the tyres. I have to turn these down. Zhou did overtake Gasly. Alright, well let's go back to normal speed for like the last 10 laps or so of the race. It's like a Red Bull victory at this moment, but Sainz is very close behind Verstappen. Let's actually push it on the straight.
We can push a bit more.
Yeah, confirm.
I mean, Norris is actually quite far ahead of Ricciardo now. Which is very good. Danny's doing a good job of blocking those cars behind him. Joe might overtake him quite soon though. He's got the ERS back. Yeah, Joe overtook him. Yeah, we'll keep his team orders up because the main thing for us, I think, is him continuing to block Gasly.
Alfa Romeo just moved up a place.
Well, it could be a bit more adventurous and try to get him winning his place back. Because Norris is nearly 4 seconds ahead now of 9th place, so that's looking pretty good. And Norris's job is not to crash again. Let's push Danny on the straight.
Overtake is available. Overtake available.
Understood.
Didn't quite get it.
Update on liftoff. We do require fuel liftoff.
Understood.
Just look after this tyre set though.
Joe has cut the lead to us a little bit though.
Roger.
I think Daniel can push the fuel a little bit more.
We do not require any fuel liftoff.
Understood.
Oh yeah, Joe's caning it, isn't he? He's catching up to us and leaving Daniel behind. So 8 laps left. What's his pace like? Oof, yeah, he caught up a second on the last lap.
Caution on the battery.
Okay.
Tyres are in better shape than ours. They look worried about ours actually. Yeah, look at that drop off. Oh, I might have to... conserve them a little bit.
Let's slow down now.
Confirm.
Ricardo's catching up to Joe. Looked a bit clumsy.
So think about the liftoff.
Roger.
Still worried about the tyres here on Norris's car.
Back it out, back it out.
Yeah.
Basically got to only lose a percentage per lap. Let's keep an eye on it. So we're crossing now, so we're at 37%, but we've been at that for a little while. See what it is at the end of this lap. Joe's catching, but then Ricciardo's almost caught him up as well. Interestingly. Maybe push on the fuel a bit.
Simply lovely.
He did it. He did it.
Come on, mate.
Right, we're going to get you to defend and block. %on the tyres, 34, so it was probably about 2.5%, which would mean he's got about another 2 laps, so that's bad. I think we're going to have to drop it down to conserve and just really save our tyres now. Otherwise, those cars behind are just going to shoot past us. Saying that, Gasly's down in 12th now, so you know if Joe did shoot past us, it's not the end of the world, I suppose, but it would be nice to finish 8th and 9th. I think Joe's going to go past Dan. Get ready to change his orders. No, he's holding him there. Good boy. Well, Ricciardo's tyres don't look too clever either. He's doing an important job though. Being in the way. See what his view looks like. There he is. Just holding them up. Preserving the gap.
5 more laps. 5 more laps.
No, has Joe's got him, has he? On the straight. Actually, no. No. Oh, God. It's Ocon now, behind Ricciardo. I think Danny's found his calling. Blocking the cars behind his teammate. Joe and Ocon a bit of dueling. Might slow them both down. Yeah, now Joe's overtaken. Ocon got it back. Joe got it back. So it's actually slowing both of them down a little bit. That little fight. 31% on the tyres going into... last 3 laps, is it? There we go, we've hit 30. We're going to start slowing down considerably now. 4 laps. Bloody
I was
hell.
looking a low in the rear.
Can we change tires?
No, you can't change tyres. Are you mad? He's actually gaining on Ricciardo, which makes sense given that Ricciardo's defending and blocking. But Ricciardo's tyres are about to start dropping below 30% now as well. So I think we'll see both Ocon and Zhou overtake Ricciardo. There goes Ocon. Alright, well, Ricciardo's still doing a valuable job blocking. Wow, it's Ocon. Oh, he's 3. Okay, yeah, 3 and a bit seconds. Keep blocking Gasly though, mate. Oh, I just want this to be over now. Zhou and Ocon are still dueling each other.
Okay, so fronts are taking a bit of a beating.
Understood, thank you.
Oh, I mean, now we're at this level. I might just put it up to normal, you know. Now it's at 28. I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? Let's just keep Ricciardo's fuel all right, though.
Head down.
Confirmed.
Have a lift off.
Yep. Yeah, understood.
I think we're going to see Ocon and Zhou just eating up the ground between us now. God, I'm still blocking Gasly though, so there's that. So is that 56? Second and a half, the distance. On the last lap, I'm just going to slap it all up to maximum though. See what happens. Let's actually stick the fuel up now. Bucket, attack.
And more push.
Cool.
Give it all we got.
Focus for 2 more laps.
Maybe we should switch to a defensive mode. Ah, Gasly got past Ricciardo.
That's a position gained for AlphaTauri.
I'm not terribly surprised. A lap and a half to go. They're just going to blow past me, aren't they? Half a second. The straight will be interesting. He's going to just shoot past, isn't he? Might be right in the corner if we can get there. This Williams might hold him up. Final lap.
And last lap.
Who locked up? Please be Ocon.
There's been a crash.
Vettel.
Sounds like
Oh,
a single car.
Sorry, Sebastian, but who cares? That's not going to have a bearing on the race at this point. Half a lap.
Max Verstappen over the finish line and today's winner.
Hanging on by this absolute skin of our teeth to 8th place. Coming into the final straight now. Tyres are bad. Very, very bad. We've got a half a second though between us and Ocon. So come on, Lando. One last push, mate. Oh, he's catching up so fast. Yeah, there he goes. But we have a second between us and Joe, which could be important.
That's a good overtake from Alpine.
There we go, 9th place. Gasly out the points. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. Could have been better. If Norris hadn't crashed, we might have finished 8th. But anyway, that's probably our best race to date.
And that's good enough work from Lando Norris this weekend. McLaren showed some good stuff here today, but they'll be building on that.
Yes, we will. Okay, Lando Norris climbed 6 places. Good boy. In terms of the Drivers' Championship, he's now 10th. Overtook Gasly. If we look at the Constructors, McLaren now 6th. So yeah, so we've climbed above AlphaTauri. I mean, Alfa Romeo are way off. 5th is our target apparently for the season. I mean, we'll see what happens once we've got better parts. But where did Bottas end up finishing? He was 7th, you see. So still quite pleased with that. Got a development point for Norris, and I'm sorry, Theo, I totally forgot to put you in for practice. 4.5 million in, not chicken feed. So, let's spend Norris's development points. So what do we want to develop? Probably defending, I think, is the most glaring bit. Look at the news. Performing below everyone's expectations, fine. It's a difficult race and we're disappointed. Well, I think we did quite well. Quick look at the board confidence. Medium satisfied. I'll take medium. They're disappointed. Well, they were disappointed with the first couple of races, and then they're not too dissatisfied. Well, they're satisfied with the last 3, so that's all right. But we'll leave it there for now. When we come back, we've got 11 days till the Spanish Grand Prix. Hope you'll join us then. Hope you enjoyed this as well. If you did, then please do hit the like button on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. That would be fantastic. And I'll see you again for more F1 Manager 2022. Bye for now.